I don't think anything could be worse than waiting for your Social Security check to hit your bank account only to find out it's been garnished. So instead of getting your full payment, you're only getting a portion of what you were expecting. Unfortunately, garnishments happen more often than you think, especially if you find yourself in one of the 7 situations I'm about to outline in this video. So if you are ready, I'm going to tell you the 7 ways you could lose your Social Security payment in 2025. Unpaid federal taxes. This is number 1 on my list of 7. Now, if you owe unpaid federal taxes, the Internal Revenue Service can garnish up to 15% of your Social Security benefits through what they call the Federal Payment Levy Program. Now, the only good news about this is your benefits can't be entirely withheld, but this deduction, no doubt, is going to obviously impact your monthly income. Now, the Federal Payment Levy Program, it applies to federal old age, survivors, and disability insurance benefits, but it doesn't apply to supplemental security income, and I think most of you know that SSI is a needs-based program that's designed to help low-income folks, and it's exempt. It's exempt from garnishment by the IRS for unpaid taxes. Before we go any further, I want to invite you to sign up for my breaking news email. Now, my email is a great way for you to stay informed on the news that matters most to you. Now, these are essential updates, and I send them to you so you can stay ahead of the curve, and I deliver them straight to your inbox as the news happens. If you're interested in signing up, just go ahead and click on the link in the description box. Committing fraud or crimes. Now, I know this could be and probably is pretty obvious to you, but if the Social Security Administration discovers that you knowingly provided false information or you misrepresented facts to obtain benefits, well, you could face serious consequences. And I know, as I said, I know this is obvious, but it's important to point this stuff out. Now, consequences could include losing your benefits, having to repay any benefits that you weren't entitled to, and potentially facing criminal charges. Now, speaking of criminal charges, convicted criminals in prison generally don't receive benefits either. Social Security benefits will typically be suspended if you're imprisoned for a felony conviction. Now, the suspension starts when you're in a federal or a state prison for more than 30 continuous days. Not meeting residency requirements. If you're a non-U.S. citizen and you're receiving Social Security benefits, and then you decide to move abroad, while your retirement, survivors, and disability insurance payments, they'll stop if you're outside the U.S. for more than 6 consecutive months. But if you qualify under an international agreement or a treaty, well, your benefits can continue. Now, if you decide for some reason you're going to move to a country like North Korea or Cuba, well, then say adios to your benefits, because U.S. law prohibits Social Security payments regardless of your citizenship status. Even U.S. citizens can face restrictions in these countries, and their benefits could be frozen. Your income exceeds the earnings limit. Now, here's a real interesting way to lose some of your Social Security benefits. The earnings limit for workers who are younger than full retirement age will increase to $23,400 in 2025. And it's up significantly from 2024. But here's the rub. If you earn more than that amount, Social Security is still going to be deducting $1 from your benefits for each $2 that you earn over the new limit of $23,400. Now, the earnings limit for people who have reached their full retirement age in 2025, that earnings limit is going to increase to $62,160, and I think that's a big jump. But it is important to note that for every month that you haven't yet hit full retirement age in 2025, Social Security is going to deduct $1 from your benefits for each $3 that you earn in the months prior to hitting full retirement age. Now, the good news, and there is some good news, is that there is no limit on earnings for workers who are at full retirement age or older for the entire year. Unpaid student loan debt. Now, if you're behind on your federal student loans, your Social Security benefits, yeah, they could be at risk. By law, Social Security can take 15% of retirement and disability benefits to repay student loans that are in default. However, your benefits, they can't be reduced below $750 a month or $9,000 a year. Now, if the government does plan to garnish your Social Security for student loan debt, you can expect to receive a notice that lets you know about the garnishment. And the notice, it'll give you details about the debt. It'll tell you the garnishment amount. And then it'll give you the options that are available to you. And that includes repayment plans or an appeal if you feel there's a mistake. Now, if you have private student loans, they can't garnish your Social Security benefits, but they can, of course, take legal action to recover the debt. Unpaid child support. And yes, there are some older folks out there, retirees, who have unpaid child support. And Social Security benefits, yeah, they can be garnished for unpaid child support. The Federal Consumer Credit Protection Act, it allows garnishments of up to 50% of your benefits if you're supporting another spouse or a child that's not part of that court order. And when I say this, I mean someone who remarried, they have a spouse, they have a child, it's not part of the court order. Well, yeah, they can still lose up to 50% of their benefits. Now, if you're not supporting another spouse or a child, up to 60% of your benefits can be garnished. Additionally, if you are more than 12 weeks in arrears, another 5% can be tacked on. Last on my list of the 7 ways you can lose your Social Security payment in 2025, court-ordered victim restitution. Now, a court can order a defendant to make restitution to victims of certain crimes. Now, I don't know what those certain crimes are, what those specific crimes are, but I do know that the Social Security Act, it generally prohibits garnishment of benefits. However, they do make an exception for these special kinds of garnishments. If this should apply to you, or maybe it's going to apply to somebody you know, just know this. The Consumer Credit Protection Act, it permits garnishment at a maximum of 25% of a recipient's monthly benefit amount for court-ordered victim restitution cases. Well, there you go. I just covered 7 ways you can lose your Social Security payment in 2025. And I sincerely hope that the information, I hope it helps you to understand the risks, and maybe it'll even help you to understand how you can avoid these problems. Now, if you do have any questions or you have any thoughts, please go ahead and leave a comment, or you can also send me an email. Love to hear from you. If you'd like more videos on retirement or money or financial security, well, then go ahead and subscribe to Over 50 TV. And also, don't forget to sign up for my breaking news email. As I said earlier, it's a great way. It's a great way for you to stay informed on the news that matters most to you. Now, for those of you out there who are concerned about getting too many emails, about getting on another email list, and I understand that, believe me, I do understand. Just know this: I'm only going to send you essential updates that you need to stay ahead of the curve. You can click on the link in the description box to sign up. Well, as I said, that's all I've got for you. And as I always say, have a great day, everybody.